Well, first of all, I want to apologize for the sound of my voice, and it's really sad what's happened since my cancer surgery, but it is what it is, and so I appreciate those of you who are sticking with me doing this. That I hope it's not robbing you of some of the enjoyment of the story. So we're now on to chapter 17. And Billy just pitched in his first game and got his first win. Didn't allow any runs, and the team is now 3-0. So now we have the big trip before us. So Dave's friend was standing by with the Cessna at the city airport. I couldn't believe we were really doing this red-eye flight. He said it would be straight all right to leave my car there as it was locked up at night. The pilot, Ben Bizzuto, said that when we get in on Tuesday, he would be in LaGuardia waiting for us, right where he dropped us off. He has someone waiting for us who will drive us over to the TWA gate. That's some nice service for a total stranger. He said that, and he and David had a little friendly card game planned for tonight. I reminded him to take it easy on Dave, as a minor league player didn't make much money. He was just quick to tell me that Dave had more of his money than he did of Dave's. He just hoped to get some of it back. I took an envelope out of my pocket and handed it to him. No, listen, he said, I can't take this from one of Dave's friends. Yes, you can, I said. I don't expect you to be doing this just for fun. This is a great help to me, and easily I can afford it. Ben relents and stuffs the 5 $100 bills into his coat. Thanks, he said with a grin. I'll try and not give it all to Bolton tonight. We get situated in the plane and latch our seatbelts. We take off into the foggy sky, but it was kind of dark. All you could see was dim little flickers of lights in the ground as we headed out over Long Island Sound. This would be a big improvement over the 2-hour drive to the airport by way of Connecticut limo. I told Ben if I ever made it to New York Yankees someday, tickets would be in his future. This sure beats driving. We get to New York in plenty of time and find our seats in first class, with John, our flight attendant, helping Gloria and me with our bags. He asked if we would like something to drink before we took off, but he added that they would be serving us breakfast once we were airborne. I told him we were fine for now. Gloria got settled in as I found a copy of the fresh Monday New York Times as they made sure they were on the red-eye flights. Gloria was paging through the Sunday Times inserts left in the seat pouch, the Times Magazine section, the book section. I found that the big Yanks lost another one, making it 4 in a row they lost, and the press was really hammering them for their sloppy play. John offered us each a book to read on the flight, as he admitted that today's Cheech and Chong movie would probably not be our cup of tea. He apologized as he was not the one who had picked it. Not much culture there, I thought. I took out my copy of Presumed Innocent by Scott Turow, and a copy of the Sporting News, of course. Gloria took Bonfire of the Vanities by Tom Wolfe. I've read that one before and liked it very much. John remarked he seemed to prefer periodicals, and that he was impressed by the books we took. Gloria remarked that she would have to read it to me, as I was a jock and still had trouble with big words, as she put it. He and she laughed, I did not. She went on to tell him that I played for the AA Monarchs in Connecticut, and that we were unbeaten. John said to look out as I might find myself in New York pretty soon, maybe even just swap the whole teams. He thought the ones in New York now were playing more like minor leaguers anyway. He wished us well and said he'd be back with our breakfast after we got airborne. We pushed back from the gate and made sure our seat belts were fastened. I leaned over to Gloria and gave her a kiss. We held hands as we taxied out to the runway. She placed her book in the pouch on the front seat and just tried to relax. The takeoff was smooth, and I loved the sensation of climbing higher and higher, thinking of all that thrust it must take this big hunk of metal into the sky. I'm not sure that I believe all the physics involved in making that happen, but I'm sure glad some pretty smart people figured it out. Gloria looked out her window as the city looked magnificent from the air at this time of day. It looked so beautiful, a sea of twinkling lights, row after row, obliterating the pain and anguish that many in a city this size feel every day. We moved across west to New Jersey, climbing to 28,000 feet. Gloria decided to try and catch a few winks. I grabbed the paper. As I said, the Yanks had lost 4 in a row, 3 in a row to the Orioles after splitting a short 2-game opening series with the Red Sox. Guidry had pitched a 7-hit shutout in their only win yesterday. The Sporting News was a week behind and had nothing on the opening week. It was still interesting just to look at the predictions and then what really transpired since opening day. Jean Dixon should have been a sports writer. She would have had no better luck handicapping this team. Every day would be a humbling experience as those who picked the Yankees to win it all and watched them fell way below 500. There was a short blurb on each team in our Eastern League section from the Red Dodge. It said that our team had the potential to contend for the title this year. Whether or not we lived up to that, time would tell. Reddit stated that we have a good bunch of kids, including a surprise or two, and if we don't lose too many players to the big club, we could do quite well. Well, what do you know, I thought. Red thinks we might just have something. Cool. I thought I would be tough on Reddit, I thought, to be leading the league at the All-Star break and then to lose players like Jones, Bond and Tavy, and even Myers and Como and Morse to close out some games. That would be devastating to our little city team. I knew the boss would waste no time if the team looked bad by early July, but still we're not too far out of it. He had little patience for failure. The next issue of the Sporting News would be interesting. Gloria had fallen asleep. I went ahead and ate my breakfast and ordered some coffee and orange juice. I was alone again. Well, not really, as I looked at this angel sitting next to me. She slept for almost 2 hours and woke up in time to have breakfast. She still looked very tired, beautiful but tired. This was going to be an awfully long flight, coast to coast. It turned out to be a peaceful flight as we landed at LAX in LA. We retrieved our baggage from the overhead compartment and moved through the portable ramps linking us to the terminal gate. As we entered the TWA baggage carousel, I spotted a young man, tall, thin, with a slightly receding hairline that doesn't match his face. He was wearing jeans and a USC t-shirt, boat shoes with no socks. He was holding up a sign that said Allen on it. I take Gloria by the elbow and gently move her in Doug's direction. Doug Milton, I say a little loudly to get his attention. Hey, I'm Bill Allen, and this is Gloria James. Good to meet you, Bill, replied Doug, but hardly looking at me as Gloria caught his full attention. Hey, Doug, I'm over here, I replied, but hardly looking at me as Gloria caught his attention. He reached out to shake my hand anyway. This is Gloria James, I repeat as Gloria reaches out her hand to Doug. Gloria, I think this is Doug Milton, but be careful. This is Disneyland, you know. She shakes his hand and thanks him for going to all this trouble to pick us up and all. He tells her it's no trouble at all. He doesn't look too suspicious to me, added Gloria. I think we'll be all right in his care. Well, it's too late now, I add. We're here and this is it. Okay, you two, said Doug. A ride with me sure beats walking, trust me. He smiled warmly at both of us. This way, Doug states, as we head out to the shuttle area to be transported to the short-term lot. This ride is only a couple of minutes long. The next one will be a little longer. We get to the lot, and Doug ushers us into his red BMW 325 four-door sedan. He opens the trunk with his key fob and reaches for our bags. He places them next to his golf clubs and 3 tennis rackets. He unlocks the side doors and opens the front door for Gloria to ride up front. I was not surprised. I hopped in the back and get comfortable. Doug starts the car and we pull out of the parking lot. And the attendant, he hands her $3 and we head out on our way at last. He takes the lane that says Route 1 North, where there's little traffic to contend with. I sure wish you guys had more time to spend out here in California, Doug begins. There are so many places I think you would enjoy seeing, and so much we could do. Maybe before you leave tomorrow, I can at least drive you around for an hour and show you a couple of sights you might like. I'd like that very much, said Gloria, looking back at me for permission. Bill, could we if we have time? If we have some time, that'd be fine with me, I approve. Doug's the boss. Listen, let's not get too upset about what has happened, said Doug. What's done is done. I think this trip out here to explain things to Chris and make amends is admirable on your part. If it can get them back together, that would be fine with me. Well, something like that would be nice, I add. That may be expecting too much or too little all at once. I think if we can at least get Chris not to pull a gun on us or put it all out on Gloria's hair, that would be a start. Real funny, Bill, said Gloria sarcastically. I'm getting nervous just talking about it, and you're making it worse. Gloria does not even turn around as she talks. I lean forward and tap her on her shoulder. I was just kidding with you, I offer feebly. Doug may have this right on target. You don't know how close I came to backing out of this trip anyway, she adds, looking at me now. That would not be happening, I add matter-of-factly. I do know where you live, and you might still be in your pajamas, and this might be a kidnapping. Really, said Doug? I would pay to see that. I'll bet you would, I reply. All right, you two, knock it off, states Gloria emphatically. There will be no pajama parties for either of you, so just get over it. Oh, well, Doug, I tried, I add with a laugh. Anyway, Chris is pretty tame, Ed Doug's. You really like her, I think. She's pretty level-headed. Really, you'll see. We speed up the highway with just a beautiful hum of the BMW engine filling the interior of the car. Floating, just about the engine purr, is the sound of Steve Winwood. Take it as it comes. That was apropos or what? I live in Topanga Canyon, just a little bit north of the airport, Doug states. I have a friend in the construction business who built some condos out there. He gave me a deal on one I couldn't refuse. I ended up buying 2 of them. One I plan to rent out soon as I finish redecorating it. You know, carpet paint, wallpaper, that sort of stuff. It should be ready in a couple of weeks. Doug, I asked, what do you do for a living? I got the feeling over the phone it was not in the legal profession. You're right there, said Doug with a laugh. I'm a salesman for a custom sheet metal manufacturer in Riverside. We make all kinds of custom metal boxes and brackets and all kinds of doodads for companies. We even make some parts for the M16 rifle back in your neck of the woods in Hartford. I did over $1 million with them, Colt firearms, and M16 parts. War is not always as bad as you know. That was a joke. Do you ever get to Connecticut, I asked? I went there once last year to check on a new part they wanted us to make for them. The buyer for Colt's a great guy and loves to play golf as much as I do. We played out at Tungus Plantation, out in Farmington. Lots of interesting shots. Very nice. If you'll play, I'll give you his number, and you can link up literally. He comes out there often, as he really likes some of the courses I play better. It's his dime to get here, though. Your work sounds pretty interesting, I add. I guess it's pretty profitable. Well, that depends on a lot of things, said Doug. The competition is tough. Sometimes another company will want a job so bad, they'll just keep lowering their price just to take it off the street. That is a very bad way to sell anything. When that happens, we just walk away and wait for another opportunity. Some customers just trust us so much they don't even put things out for bid anymore. We like profit, but we're pretty fair. The more our customers sell, the more we get to make, so it pays to be smart and competitive. Our stuff we lose comes back to us for poor quality from the guy who won the job or he just didn't deliver on time. We're pretty good at doing and making up for somebody else's mistakes. Sounds like you really like it, said Gloria. It must be a great job to have. Well, it sure beats a real job, said Doug. Kind of like your, Bill. I wonder when that was going to come out, a reply. No athlete jokes, please. Okay, I'll take it easy, said Doug. It's just because guys like me are jealous of guys like you, you know. We pull out onto Route 27 and says the sign that says Topanga 4. Doug moves the accelerator as he shifts down to hit the exit at a slightly slower speed. We turn and head up a 2-lane asphalt road with no houses to be seen close to the road. The beautiful sound of this engine in the BMW was really super. I could really use one of these Beamers, I thought. Doug pulls into the driveway of a beautiful 2-story contemporary duplex. His driveway is on the left. This visual effect is as though one is looking into a mirror as the 2-car garage joins the houses in the center. There are beautiful coach lights on each side of the garages and on the front porch of each house by the front door. It appears that as though the wood has been left roughed and just stained a light sand color. The trim is done dark brown. I have always preferred contemporary style houses myself. I love this place. I think Gloria did too. She just stood there speechless. Doug, if the inside is anything like the outside, I will be truly impressed, I said. I would love to own something like this. Wouldn't you, Gloria? Are you kidding, she said. This is one of the nicest homes I've ever seen. The view and the land is spectacular, she added. Come on inside, said Doug as he grabbed our bags out of the trunk in his car. I know you must be exhausted. I'll show you around and let you get settled. We moved inside into a beautiful tile-covered foyer with a spiral staircase off to the left. Doug said it went to a loft room where he had a little recording studio. There was also a second bedroom with a full bath down the hall from there. I excused myself, and Doug showed Gloria the rest of the downstairs. He had an 8-channel Yamaha mixing board with every type of recorder made, including an older TX 3440 open reel. He had a number of Shure microphones, an old Crown DC 300A amp, a pair of JBL 4312 monitors, and a pair of keyboards from Yamaha and Korg, and 2 computers, an HP and an Apple, with some Pro Tools boxes on the floor. 2 very nice Martin guitars were on stands next to the wall. I stopped drooling over the gear and joined them downstairs. I went into the direction of the voices